Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Live Korean where we learn Korean through songs, dramas and other videos online. Today we're going to be looking at ITZY's Dalla Dalla song one more time. Last time we looked at the first two lines at the start, but this time we're actually going to be looking at the actual chorus. Now with this chorus we'll be able to see a good example of how the translation in music videos can actually be a little different to the actual Korean. So when we listen to the chorus, pay attention to the English subtitles and you'll be able to see which parts are different to the actual Korean. Okay, let's take a look at the first two lines, which actually is one sentence altogether. Now in the English version, you'll see that it's translated as two separate sentences. So that's one difference we can see already. So the first line we have here, 예쁘기만 하고 매력은 없는. So 예쁘다 is pretty. And here we have a grammar construction, which you can see up here, 기만 하다, 예쁘기만 하다. So that means you are only something. So in this case, only pretty. And you can see on the end of 하다, we have 고, which is the construction to connect two verbs together to mean and. So we have only pretty and 매력은 없는. So 은 is the topic marker, 매력은 없는. Now 매력 means attractiveness or charm. It's something that allures you to something. 은 is the topic marker, and 없다 of course means that there is none of something. So 매력은 없는, there is no attractiveness, which basically means not attractive. So down here you can see what the English translation of this first line is. So it's translated as one sentence, but on the end of this 매력은 없는, you can see that the sentence is actually still continuing. Now this isn't necessarily a bad thing. If you're translating a song, you want it to be as natural as possible and also match the rhythm and feel of the song too. So in this case, the translation is pretty much right, but it's just cut off and split into two sentences. Let's take a look at the next line now. 애들과 난 달라 달라 달라. So I'm different to other 애들. I'm different from the kids. I'm different. So here 애들 means kids. But what does kids mean? Well, in Korean, when we talk about friends or I guess in English we usually say guys. You know, hey guys. Sometimes in Korean you can say 애들아 when you call your friends, which basically means hey kids. It's the same as hey guys. So this really means I'm different from the other guys. On the end of 애들 we have 과, which is a way of saying with. So because it ends in a consonant, we use 과. If it ended in a vowel, then we would use 와. So 애들과 난, which again, as we looked at in our previous videos, is a shortening of 나 and 는. So 나는. I'm different, different, different. 달라, 달라, 달라. So this line is even split into two different sentences. I'm different from the kids. I'm different. Personally, if I was translating it, I would probably say I'm different from the others rather than I'm different from the kids. I feel that kids can be a little bit ambiguous. So let's look at the Korean sentence all together as one. So 예쁘기만 하고 매력은 없는 애들과 난 달라 달라 달라. I'm different with the others who are only pretty and don't have any attractiveness or aren't attractive. So of course you can see in English it's quite a mouthful and it explains why you'd split it up into separate sentences when putting it as English in a song. Next we have 네 기준에 날 맞추려고 하지 마. So as we talked about in our previous videos, this 내, which means your, is usually pronounced as 니 conversationally. 네 기준에. 기준 means your standard. And then on the end of 기준, we have the preposition 에, which is meaning to my standard. 날, which is a shortening of 나 and 를, the object marker. 맞추려고 하지 마. If you 맞추다 to someone or to something, it means you're kind of changing or adjusting to that person. So in this case, it's saying to your standard. So let's break it down one more time slowly. We have to your standard, we have me as an object, and 맞추다. So it's basically saying, set me to your standard. And on the end we have two grammar points. We have 으려고 하다, which is to intend or try to do something. And then we have 지마, which means don't do something. So don't try to set me to your standards. Now the English translation is a little bit different. It says don't measure me by your standards alone. But if we're saying don't set me to your standard, then saying don't measure me by your standards alone, it gets the meaning across. Now these grammar points are extremely common grammar forms that we use every day. 지마, if you remember, is 반말. So this is informal language. Don't use it to people older than you or people who you don't know. For example, you can say 하지 마세요 would be a way of saying not to do something politely. Well, it's still going to be a little bit impolite, isn't it? Because you're telling someone not to do something, but that's how you would say it. And lastly, 난 지금 내가 좋아. 나는 나야. So here we have two sentences. 나는 지금 내가 좋아. This basically means I like me right now. We have 지금 in here, which means now. 나는 나야. I am me. 야, this 야 on the end is the conjugated form of 이다, which means to be. Now one interesting thing to point out is that in Korean, when we say we like something, you can actually use just the verb good, 좋다, which means good. Now it can be quite confusing for beginners. Instead of saying like, just saying good, but that's how it's also commonly expressed. So 나는 지금 내가 좋아. So 내가 is the subject, which means good. So I am good. But also we have another I at the front here. I right now, I am good. So basically, this I here, you are saying that you are the one who liked something, but what do you like? You like me. So it can be a bit confusing. But if you want to know more about this, take a look at some grammar sites and we'll explain it to you. Of course, there is also the verb 좋아하다, which means to like, but this, instead of taking a subject, takes an object. Lastly, let's take a look at the translation for this and see how it's different. So the English translation is, I love being myself, I'm nobody else. So in this case, it's quite a bit different. I love being myself. So you can see it's been translated naturally into English. Basically, I like me right now would be the literal translation. I'm nobody else, literally, I am me. But of course, saying I'm nobody else might be a bit more natural or sound better in English. Alright, so let's quickly go through the pronunciation of the whole thing. 예쁘기만 하고 매력은 없는 애들과 난 달라 달라 달라. 네 기준에 날 맞추려고 하지 마. 난 지금 내가 좋아. 나는 나야. So let's have a quick listen to the chorus again. Follow along with the lyrics and listen out for the new things that we learned. Alright, well that's it from me for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. If you have any comments or requests, please leave them in the comments below or send me an email. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time.